endless videos. It's fucking endless. Endless.
Do you have an insurance policy in place? Will you have somebody like an Eddie Alvarez on standby if one of these guys can't make the fight?
On cue, Khabib begins a complex series of gestures, first scratching his face, often an expression of uncertainty or irritation. Then he begins deeply stroking his beard and chin, a masculine gesture that is self-soothing, meaning it helps reduce stress. As Khabib continues to stroke his beard, a secondary expression emerges as a wry, reflective smile. Khabib stares into the middle distance, showing us he's inside his own thoughts right now. The smile widens as his imagination locks onto something pleasing. Then just as quickly, Khabib's eyes narrow to a point just in front of him. The smile starts to die away, and he wipes at his mouth until it's completely gone. Khabib doubles down by covering his mouth with his hand and pressing his lips tightly together. I'd gladly give a penny for Khabib's thoughts the moment he flashed that wide smile. Whatever it was, Khabib's desire to suppress it and keep it private is clear. That was quite a reaction.
I expect more out of myself at this age in my life and at this stage in my career.
This isn't his idea. He was told this repeatedly, perhaps by a counselor, or his coaches, or his manager. It's part of the script. John didn't like being told this and didn't like saying it here. That's why he gives the hard nod and quick grimace and clamps his mouth shut after saying it's a blessing.
You know, I love this sport, and initially, I loved it for the sport. The martial arts, the violence, the technique, the excitement. But the main reason I love it now is because it's such a tremendous platform for humanity and humanity's themes. You know, there's just no way around it. This is just a nice MMA romance. It's a regular Rosie Owen Barriette. You know, if you can watch this interview and it doesn't move you, you either don't have a heart or you don't have a soul. There's just something wrong with you. You're what psychologists like to call a worthless piece of shit. I've previously mentioned the other main place I go to get a dose of humanity, and that's movies. I love movies. Sorry, I love good movies. Most of the time when I go to the movies, after the first 15 minutes, I feel trapped. Trapped inside the mind of a fucking retard. A director or a writer who is just not in touch with humanity. I'm sitting there thinking, Jesus Christ, give me something. Give me something interesting. Fucking move me. But in terms of humanity, mixed martial arts will never let you down. Thank God for MMA.
What are we betting? 25 push-up?
250.
Ah, come on.
250, not 25. Come on.
Okay, 250 push-ups. All right.
Khabib's chin is so high up when he throws punches. I think those are the comments that Joe Rogan was saying. You know what? His chin was high, but he did have that shoulder up. I was impressed with Khabib's jabs. Were you? Yeah, his jabs was excellent. I'm happy he added that layer to his game, especially for a 5-round fight. Beautiful addition to his game. Joe Rogan told Khabib's striking is amateurish. No, I wouldn't agree with that. I think Khabib may be a little bit, he has a different type of fluidity. You know, he's more stiff. But at the end, you have to tally up the score. Did he get hit? No. He didn't get hit with anything. Did he land shots? Yes. The answer is yes. He didn't get hit with anything really significant. The striking was excellent. I mean, he won. He was effective. Look and effectiveness is two separate things. I would say that Khabib did a good job striking. Khabib's boxing is horrible. I have to disagree. He outboxed Iaquinta, and Iaquinta, look at his record. He has many KOs and TKOs. The guy's a killer. Guys, it's just a style. It's just a style. And yes, he's a little bit more stiff, but that's just from all the years of wrestling. Think about it. How many world-class wrestlers do you see have a fluid boxing? You know, it's just he's just maybe a little bit stiff, but he outboxed Iaquinta. He beat him striking as well. Not just did he beat him on the ground, he also beat him stand-up.
Nurmi uses tripods to constantly threaten the pass. Ironically, despite his strength, he doesn't really use cross faces to power through guards, preferring tripod passing instead. This is a tactic used by Damian Maia, and is especially effective against a guarder who is primarily trying to get back to their feet. Tripoding to pass the guard gives you a lot of mobility, yet retains your ability to apply pressure. For example, during the fight, Nurmi used a tripod to step over Barbosa's legs to get to a smash position.
Gets me fired up when people can be in the business and not understand the business, Jacob. I gotta collect myself right now, but it gets me fired up.
Dana said no. I did not call Conor, and he just real candid on why. It came down to pay. What I have to pay Conor, I have to have time to build. I need Conor not only on fight night, but he's so good at the things that lead into that. With no time to execute, he was not an option.
Shevchenko for the title, Holly Holm, main.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I'm not sure what to do with my hand.
I think the real issue is the cage. The real issue is the cage, in my opinion, because the cage presents this artificial barrier. I think they should stop with the cage. I think the cage is a bad environment. The best environment for fighting is like an open area. What would you think about the idea of fighting in a big open area without a cage? Like a big open area,
no
like a basketball ring.
Yeah.
What do you think about having fights in an open area like a basketball court and not having a cage? Because I feel like the cage, there's certain things about the cage.
There is.
It becomes an added factor.
Does a ring become an added factor?
Yes.
And so would a basketball court.
To a certain extent.
No, to a complete extent.
If you had a boundary,
fighters are not stupid.
Right.
They're smart.
But you wouldn't be able to use it to get back up. And you wouldn't be able to use it to hold a guy there.
But you would be able to use it to nullify, same as in wrestling. Look at
guys run out of bounds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And trust me, guys would start doing it.
Yeah.
To keep themselves safe. Because
football field. My dream is to do MMA fights in a football field.
I need to know what would happen. Like if we had, that's why I want these finishes. We only get 15 minutes to be able to tell ourselves what would have happened. If that would have been another 30 minutes or another 2 hours that we're scrapping in the woods, like who gets the bone? You know, I want to know. And so it's crazy, and it's your practicality and it's your survival, and this is the way I get to know myself.
Dude, that's deep. Who gets the bone? Whew.